Yeah, you here because you see I have some treats. That's what you're here for. Hey, what's going on, Rain? It's my Connie Corso, Rain. He just had a birthday recently. He's 3 years old. He's a big boy, a big 3-year-old. Do that body shot real quick. Nice and trim. For now, we've been trying our best to make sure he doesn't get overfed because he has been asking for more food lately. And the way he does it is he just bothers us all afternoon until we give him more food. So you got to watch that with your dogs. They'll push you to feed them, overfeed them. So be careful so they don't gain weight, because when they gain too much weight, you start having a lot of problems. Little Missy, even this little girl here too. If you can overfeed her as well, these dogs love the treats, but you can't overdo it. Got to balance their exercise with their with whatever they you give them for food, because then if not, you have a problem on your hand. And here's my Ratawala. Stormy, Stormy, Stormy. What's going on? So this is my Rottweiler Storm. She's the middle child. I should say, she's 5 years old. Hey, baby. Good morning. Oh, she's like, whatever. I want those treats. She's full of energy. Full of energy. Now she's been. Oh, you almost got a frog there, and it just jumped right into my pool. Where did it go? I don't know where that frog went. Oh, there it is. I think it's like right down where that rock is. Wow. I hate it when frogs get in my pool. Barefoot Maddie, I hear you. I wish I had the energy too sometimes. Hey, good morning, Paul. How's it going? But yeah, she is definitely got full of energy today, and she's been suffering quite a bit lately. We've had a knee injury, but she's been having a couple UTIs, unfortunately. So this is her second round of having a UTI, and the strategy for her is obviously the antibiotics is what you need to get rid of the bacteria that's causing the infection. But the long-term strategy for her is actually the same thing that we've been dealing with for her knee injury, which is her weight loss. So they said that she had additional adipose tissue around her vulvar area that keeps urine from backflowing. So so they can either use surgery to cut it off or weight loss. And then in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is the second sign that our Rottweiler needs to lose a little bit of weight, And honestly, for the longest time, I always thought that she was okay because, you've seen obese dogs, right? Where you start looking at them from the top angle, and this area here is super wide, super fat and wide. But hers is not too bad. Now, is it indented where she's like super in shape? No, but she's still overweight. And really and truly, they recommend about 100 pounds for her. So, and she's at about 118, and so she's teaching him how to eat grass. I know, Moira Lana, it's a goat. Yeah, exactly. No, she's always like had a healthy grass diet. For whatever reason, she likes to eat grass, even whenever her stomach is not upset. And then he's just picking up from her. He learns a lot of stuff by watching her do it. So he'll just do it just because she's been doing it. Mackenzie said, "Cute, thank you." Yeah, thanks, Barefoot. She'll get better. You just got to be patient. And unfortunately, when they give you those antibiotics, you have to be careful because, if you're not giving them the full course of antibiotics, then you can create some really nasty bugs out there. So it's a lot of work on the human beings to give them like the pills. Like this morning, I haven't even given her twice a day 2-pill antibiotic, and she hates pills. That's the thing. My Rottweiler just does not like to take pills. So we try to hide them in food. Here recently, I just like shove them in the back of her throat. And I'm like, girl, because if not, you give her all that extra treats and stuff and all the extra food, and it just puts the weight back on her. So I'm just like, hmm, hmm. She got a little gray in her muzzle, so she's getting older. Look at that. See that gray in her muzzle? Getting older. She's not as old as this girl, though. This girl here, she's the elder. She's elderly. Yes, she is. 14-year-old dog. She's elderly, but she's still kicking. My kids say I love dogs. I do too. Bumblebees. Bumblebee plays the guitar and wants to get subscribers. Get yourself a lawnmower. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely hard on them. So, and it's hard on her knees too. And with them two playing rough a lot, the extra weight on her knee is probably what caused the injury. So, um, be careful with your dogs. Don't overfeed them. Please don't overfeed them. And I've seen some people, I've been to dog parks where you see this huge, massively obese dog, and maybe it's older, it's, 8, 10 years old, and the family's just gotten used to overfeeding or feeding them human food. That's the other thing. People give them table food. It has a lot of calories and a lot of fats and stuff like that their dog really don't really need. So, they end up having some health problems. But in this case, when I have two active dogs that play rough, you're bound to have some injuries with the extra weight on their knees and their bones and stuff. So you got to be careful with overfeeding your dogs, because they'll never like if you're giving them the good stuff, like the treats and stuff, they're never gonna stop. So you have to cut them off. You got to say, well, enough treats for today. Got to wrap it into some bologna or something. Yeah, I've done that too. Barefoot, we do all kinds of things. Yogurt, she loves yogurt, so I'll just crush it up and put our pills in yogurt. And but it's just all extra calories. And at this point, it's just anytime I can get a pill down her throat without giving her extra calories, that's my method. And the other method is I give her a treat after it's like what I'm about to do today. It's like, you do the task that I asked you to do, I'll give you a treat later. And these don't have too many calories in each one of these. So I'll give her both her pills, and as a reward for swallowing the pill, not just putting the pill in your mouth, but actually swallowing the pill, you get a treat. And so that's been working out pretty well, because she can expect to have something after she's taken the pill. But another thing you got to be careful is dogs. They'll learn how to put the pill in their jaws, and they'll spit it out when you walk away. So I always make sure that um, she's fully swallowed, and she can tolerate to eat another treat afterward. That's how I know she's had her medication. Thank you, Waylon. Waylon says they're adorable. Thank you so much. Beautiful pups. Thank you. Respect our planet and animals. Yeah, they're all three of them are out this morning. So yeah, so this Rottweiler has been going through, and the other thing that we're still working on is her doggone her nails. So with her knee been kind of needing to heal and repair itself, we haven't been going on our long walks in the asphalt, and so the asphalt actually helps shortens their nail as they walk. They scratch their nails, and it actually does offer a little bit of help with cutting the ends of the nails. So with her being more like playing around in the grass and staying around at home and not doing her long walks or runs, her nails it's so hard to keep up, y'all. And they were already bad to begin with. I already had extremely long, I mean, here, let me show you what I'm talking about. In case you don't believe me, look at those nails, y'all. Those nails are extremely long. So, and I've been trying to do at least weekly nail cuts with her. I may have missed a couple of weeks here and there, but been trying my best to kind of get them pushed back, and but they just grow so fast. I can't even keep up with those nails, y'all. And she hates the clippers. She hates the ones that you just snip, because it's real loud, it pops, and she just hates it. So I've been using my little Dremel tool. The Dremel tool works fine. She'll tolerate that. It just takes longer, and it runs through those blades really fast. What's up, big boy? Are you being cute? Ooh. Oh, hey, Paul, have you been watching a little bit from Cane Corso? You've been watching what's going on over there? Because they've successfully moved to Washington State, man. How would all three react to a stranger coming into the home and a friend who hasn't met them yet to your home? That's an excellent question, Paul. So we've still are on that very, very protective side right now. So we don't like strangers. My Rottweiler has been around other family members since she's been basically born. So she's has a really tight circle of friends and family that she's accept, and everyone else tends to be off limits. And part of that is our fault for not continuing up her socialization with random people. But the other part is this, she's like territorial dogs. They don't like new people coming onto their territory, and when someone's and come onto your property or to your house, they're often viewed as not supposed to be there. And in a perfect world, you'd want to be able to teach your dog to take cues from you. So if you're saying that this person is authorized to be here and they're here to do a service for you and chill, they back down. And that takes work to do that, to teach that skill. But if you didn't give them the okay to let this person onto the property, then it's their fair game to be barked at, or if you need to get rid of them, fine. But I mean, that's one of the aspects of having a very territorial protective dog, is that you do have a little bit of home protection. Oh, there's that frog that was bouncing to my pool earlier. I guess he's gonna go up there and do his business. I'll let him go do his business. But yeah, it's really a beautiful thing when your dog loves to see family members come over, and as it is a sweet little dog, and she just loves family, loves everybody. And I'll say that in general about this breed, they tend to be really good family dogs. Once they are well trained and you do your part, these guys will definitely enrich your life and your family's life. Abby says, "Oh, baby, he's so cute. What breed is he? Not the Rottweiler. So yeah, so the Rottweiler, and then this is a mixed breed, and then he is a Cane Corso. He's over there sniffing now. I thought he was gonna do some business, but yeah." I took three people to trim our dog. It took three people to trim our dog's nails. We moved to a house that has a long driveway. She keeps her nails short. Yeah, see, that's helpful, having some concrete or asphalt, because just that sheer amount of like walking and scratching that they do actually helps reduce the length of the nails. But as you see, when they don't do that, I mean, they just grow so fast, and then you got to keep up on it. And this girl, my Rottweiler, she's a female Rottweiler, but she loves to run, absolutely loves it, and likes to sprint. And so for her, when she was when in her prime, or without having injuries, this girl will run for days if you let her. So her nails stay pretty well trimmed, but with her not being as mobile, it is out of control, just out of control. How much for a Cane Corso puppy? You have to do a little bit of research. They're not cheap. If they are cheap, then you need to raise an eyebrow and find out why they're selling their Cane Corso for too cheap, because they're not meant to be a $200 puppy, okay? I mean, you're talking about thousands of dollars. So definitely be suspicious of people giving you this really great deal on these purebred Cane Corso puppies. They may be trying to take advantage of the breed or take advantage of you as a buyer. So please beware. Waylon says, "I love dogs." Ah. Myra Land. Hi, Myra Land. What's going on, Myra? Mary. Oh, I love dogs. So cute. Thank you, Mary. Brian says, "Sounds like my previous last four white Labradors." Yeah. How you doing, Mary Jackson? Brian May says, "Exactly right." OD Flex. What's going on, OD Flex? Flex your puppy. Yeah. So these guys, they're a lot to take in. You have to really do your research with these puppies. A lot of it's you research as you go. If you can learn as much before you get to the dog, even better. But sometimes you'll reach a new scenario that you've never seen before, and you just have to kind of roll with it and do the research. The main thing is that you don't let it go. Always try your best to see how you can make things better. And no one can fault you for being perfect. I'm not perfect with these dogs. Obviously I let my dog's nails grow too long, and I have to work on that. But do your best. Do your best for them, because they're doing their best for you. You know what I mean? They come every 100% every day. They love on you unconditionally for the most part. you know, so you do your best for them. They really do love us after a while. Not sure what that Connie Corso is up to up there. He's just kind of doing this little trail. When he does that, when he goes up there to the high, he has to. Okay, there it is. That's what I was waiting for him to poop. I was like, usually he does that to poop, and he hasn't done his exercise today, so that's a good thing for him to poop now. So when we go on our run, he won't be pooping in the streets, because that's his new thing now. He's like, all right, we're going for a run. How about right here in the middle of the street? I'm gonna take a poop. Oh, look at that Rottweiler, y'all. Look at her running. And that is about a tenth of what she normally is like. A tenth. That girl loves to sprint and run. There's a little standoff here. Look at him. Oh, that's my Storm. Like, that's what I normally see with my dog, man. Just phenomenal dog. Look at that. Now, of course, she has to sit down because her knee is just not super healed right now. Yeah, Paul. Yeah, I'm telling you. I think her and the dogs are going to do really well in the new state. Uh, she sent me and another friend of ours a video, and they look like they're thriving. So, or at least they will be thriving. Of course, moving and getting everything situated and getting household stuff and goods together. Look at them; they're still staring at each other. And I tell you what, the other thing too for her, I'm so happy for her, is the temperatures are so much more milder than they are here in Texas. It is still incredibly hot down here, y'all. I mean, the mornings are great. I mean, we're finally have mornings in the 70s, and maybe dipping down into the 60s. Look at him. So if he starts jumping on her back, I'll probably have to jump in. Like, this is fine. Like, I don't mind this. This is all just happy play stuff. But it'll turn, and I might have to jump in. But I miss this, guys. I'm telling you, I miss them playing like this and slobber all down her back. Look at that. Look at that. Let me show you the slobber. Look at that. All that's from this Connie Corso. They almost got me on my knees. Oh, that's a beautiful thing, y'all. That is such a beautiful thing to see. They love it too. Oh, be careful, y'all. Hey, be careful. You almost hit that rock. We're not trying to go to the medicine to the ER today. Try to go to the vet. We're gonna stop to eat some grass, take a break and eat some grass. Oh man. Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be a good thing for them. I'm sad to see them leave the area. We're good friends and all, but man, I'm happy for them that they're got a good place. Corinne Swanson, thank you so much. We try our best to keep grass back here, because here in Texas it's so hard, and especially with the sandy soil, it is so hard to maintain grass out here. But you know what? We do our best because the dogs love it. It's just a great environment for them. Bobby Matherinus, I think that's how you say your last name. What's going on? Happy dogs, Brian said. Yeah, respect our planet. Nice big yard. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Brian says he's in East Texas. Yeah, east of Dallas. Oh yeah, man. I love Dallas area. Or actually, I'm more of a fan of Fort Worth. I used to live in Crowley, Texas. So wonderful place. Corinne says I got a pity. That's him in my picture. Okay, with the sunglasses. He's cute. I know these thumbnails are kind of small, but I can see him. There's a cute dog there. Love it. Julius Carl. Hi, I'm new here at your live stream, hey, welcome. Can you tell me what their names are? So Julius, so Storm is taking a poop. We're gonna let her do her business, and then this is Rain, and Missy is, I don't know where Missy went off to. She gets lost back here, and she loves it. By the way, she loves getting lost back here. I don't see her anywhere. But anyway, the smallest one, if you see a little small, we call her the Tyrant now. We're changed her name to Tyrant because she's demanding a lot lately. Like, take me outside, let me do this. She's always demanding. So, oh, there she is. There's a little Tyrant right there. You see her? She's got so many nicknames, y'all. We give our dogs some strangest little nicknames. Uh, Respect our plants. Look at that beautiful Connie Corso. Yeah, he's just like lounging right now. He's doing his little poolside lounging right now. Julius, is that your yard? Yeah. This is my backyard. I just do my live streams back here where everybody's relaxed and calm, cool, and collected. Ah, another Washington State there. Respect your planet. Yeah. So, our I call her our sister station, Ozzy the Connie Corso. They are in that area. So if you've never been to their channel, go check them out. I'm sure she's getting ready to start doing her own videos in her new location if she hasn't already done that. And great channel. Bryce says live in Keller. Yeah, I don't remember where Keller is now. East of Greenville. Got 4 acres for all my critters. Yeah, I'm telling you, it really changes things when you can move up to your bigger size like this, because a lot of times you are pressed for space and you have to find ways to exercise your dogs. And when you have a larger space, these dogs take advantage of it, man. They just run in circles. They'll do sprints, and like I said, little girl here, she gets lost back here. And she literally does. I mean, this is just 1 acre. I don't even have 4 acres. This is just 1 acre, and she'll just wander. She'll find her way, and behind the shop, she'll be in the corners. She'll just go everywhere, and she just moseys, just like she's doing now, just moseys, and moseys. And then when she comes in, she's had her little exercise for the day. Vic has a black. You mean the Connie Corso? Vic Morrison, I think. Storm is pooping. Yeah. You saw her earlier pooping. Do they swim in the pool? They do swim in the pool occasionally. We don't let them go in at will whenever they want to. We invite them in. That's just another boundary I set with my dogs. It's just, and the reason why I do it is because, one, I just don't like the idea of my dog swimming while I'm at work, and something happens and I can't catch him in time. I'm kind of a little gun shy for stuff like that happening, because we've already had one accident while I was at work. The second reason is that I've had some difficulties maintaining the chemistries in this type of pool that I have. So when they jump in, and whatever's in their fur gets into the pool, it makes it harder for me. And then the third thing is just, like I said, setting boundaries, because that's a necessary part of owning a big dog like this, is you have to set some expectations for them. And that's one of my boundaries that I've set with them is, listen, guys, you have access to all of the land. You just play as much as you want, but the pool is only invitation only. Thank you for subscribing, Julius. Appreciate you. That's awesome. Yep. Sandra Annie. Our dog's name is Huerva. Or is it Gubera? Is that how you pronounce it, Sandra? Haas, what's going on? Haas is in the house, everybody. Woo! Happy Sunday. What's up, Tasha Thompson? How are you? So, Julius, we're not necessarily near a farm. We're just kind of farther out in the country area. We're outside of a bigger city, San Antonio, Texas. And it was kind of the best deal when you're in the suburb areas, you get better deals on land and space like that. Now, behind me is like a farm. It's still a house back there. And of course, they have an overgrown field out there. They used to have a horse, which the dogs just love that horse for whatever reason. They had a nice little relationship where, they didn't bark at the horse or anything. Like, it was part of their pack. It was very, very weird. I'll see Rain out here just sitting, and the horse will be over there looking at the dog, and they'll just be like standing there, not doing anything, not talking, just not barking, just sitting there. And I'm like, okay. So we kind of miss him. I should go over there and ask him what happened to the horse. Maybe the horse was old or something, but yeah. So, and of course, when you're close to a field, you always have to be careful because snakes will come and they'll get on the property. So I'm always on guard, and we've seen at least two venomous snakes on the property, and thank goodness I was able to kind of catch them before my dogs ran into them. But they were copperheads. The rest of the snakes that I've seen here were fine. So if they, little rat snakes or whatever, or garter snakes, or those, just the normal stuff. It's the ones the one I'm concerned about are the copperheads, and we have rattlesnakes in not here in this particular area, but in the San Antonio area in general. So I never kind of dismiss ever seeing a rattlesnake, but I know in this community we typically don't see them. Now the only other venomous snake that we have in this area is the Texas coral snake. Those the red and yellow killer fellow kind of thing, if you know what I'm talking about. So you gotta be careful with your dogs because they get curious, and if they get bitten by those venomous snakes, number one, you need to know where your local vet is, whether it's like a vet hospital, especially because it always happens whenever it's inconvenient, right? So you need to have already planned where you're going to take your dog and make sure they have the antivenom for whatever venomous snakes that you have in your area. So we need to make sure mainly copperheads, coral snakes, and maybe rattlesnake. And so all the vets in this area that we go to kind of already are abreast on that, so they're ready. They're ready, and so the main thing is you as a human understand that and know what to do when that happens. So yeah, Brian, we don't have the copper. I'm sorry, we don't have the cottonmouth or the water moccasins. We don't have those here in the area. But if you do live somewhere where there are the cottonmouths or the water moccasin, I think that's the same snake. You want to be same advice for them. Make sure that if that's the case, make sure your local vet has the Innovax, and if it gets bitten, they actually have a hotline, I believe, that you can call, a snake bite hotline. I'm not sure if it's all for animals or for just humans, but do have on your phone your veterinarian and know that they have the anti-vax so that you don't drive to the wrong place and they don't have what you need. Oh, Mark says no venomous. You say poisonous, but we like to use the term venomous. Poisonous, I guess, implies that we're eating it, but I do know what you're saying. And that'd be cool if we had none of that here. But the reality is that most people have at least close to them some venomous snake that hangs around, or do you know what I mean, like in the local area, not necessarily on your property, but you just need to be aware of it because it always happens in the weird time, right? You're not paying attention, or your dog's out there playing, the next thing you know it, they come in with yelping or whatever, or they have two small holes around their muzzle, and if their muzzle starts to swell, I mean, that's, you already know something's going on. You got to take them in immediately because they can die from those bites, man. So just be very, very careful. Be careful. Oh, Haas says you missed my update. Also, I missed out on what the pups got a few weeks ago. I've been busy. Oh yeah, no worries. Haas, I can catch you up for what's been going on. That's why I do this every week, just to make sure everybody that's following these big dogs know what we're up against and what we've been trying to work on and improve. But let me go back. I'm gonna go back, Haas, to see what you said. Okay. Yeah, I missed a lot of comments actually. So, because Brian says, I keep Sophie out my parents' pool in Georgetown, and they had a red fox Labrador named Brandy. Sophie and Brandy work as a team to chase geckos out of the bush. Yeah, Brian, that's what they do. These dogs, especially if they have that strong prey drive, lizards are just the absolute, geckos and lizards, whatever, they're just like the absolute best for these dogs because they just love to run around and chase them, and it just provides them with so much entertainment, especially my Rottweiler loves lizards. We have tons of them out here. She'll be out here for hours just chasing lizards. Joan says water is a good exercise. Yeah, Joan, I agree. It is definitely a good exercise, and like I said, I don't mind them swimming, especially with us at the right time. But I just, and I know that we bought the kind of pool where you can kind of they can get out of the pool almost at any location. They should be okay, but I'm just paranoid. That's why. And I just use it right now as kind of a training tool where I just set boundaries. I don't know where he's going. He's probably seeing somebody. Let's go check it out, guys. Come on, let's go check. Come on. So I just use it as a boundary right now. Just like, look, guys, you can't do this unless you're told you can. So Haas, let me get to your comments. It's been super busy. Sorry, but dude, Jerry is 8 months old. Oh, 137 pounds at 8 months. That is a incredible size dog. I mean, it sounds like you're going to be topping out close to, I don't know, what, 160, 180? If he's at 8 months, he's already 137 pounds. Wow. That is awesome, Haas. Patrick says, I've got a 163-pound barbell. What is that? I'm not sure what that first part means. Rottweiler Mastiff mix. And I made him afraid to get into the water because of the alligators. So you got to do what you got to do. Are you in the Florida area? Because that's a real reality for a lot of people, man. And avoidance training is not a bad way to train your pets, because a lot of time people, especially with snakes, they will take them in to do avoidance, or unless you know how to do it yourself, but you can take them in and they will teach your dog to avoid, because that's the best way to handle it, is not to be curious and go play with the snake, but actually say, hey, there's a snake there, we need to avoid it. So you know avoiding alligators and snakes is a good thing, right? Julius says, are they trained dogs? They are trained to a degree. I don't do a whole lot. I mean, I can do a little bit for you guys. That's why I even brought the treats out, to do a little bit of stuff that they're trained for what we need them to be trained for, if that makes sense. Or, are they like guard dog trained? Not so much. Do they bite on command? No, they don't. Uh, but do I work on recall? Do I work on sit, some basic commands like stay? Yes, all those things. I think those are important for their own safety. So we definitely have to do that kind of stuff. So sorry, I went back to catch some old comments that I missed earlier. Taz, it's got the gorillas. um, Yeah, so Canada sounds kind of interesting right now. It's like there's no poison snakes and there's no nor spiders, man. I guess because it's so cold up there. All right. Kate says, hi, what's going on, Kate Hess? Or Hesse or Hess? Julius, no, I have a whole family, man. I got the wife and I got the kid. I got more than one kid, but my oldest is already out of the house. Storm and rain, gotcha. Kate Hess says hi. What's going on, Kate? Devin, do they eat the lizard? No, so Devin, that's the thing. She spent hours chasing the lizards, but she never really eats them. She never catches them. It's just provides her with a whatever experience to give her release and energy, or whatever she gets out of it. It's really that prey drive is what it is. It just kicks in because they're so fast. It just catches her attention. It's like having like the red dots in your cats. They just love to chase those red dots. It's the same thing for them. And I love it because, like I said, it's exercise for her. My family has raised German Rottweilers since 1960s. In Tennessee, we have water moccasins. None of ours have ever been bitten, and I don't know anyone else's dogs that have been bitten ever. Wow, Cash is saying that Cash has been dealing with dogs for a long time. Cash, do you think it's because of the breed? Because I see dogs all the time on the internet being bit by uh, venomous snakes and they're being sent to the ER. I see them all the time. So that kind of had an impression in my mind. Like I said, a lot of it for me, though, is being prepared. It's not just, it'll never happen. But you got to always prepare for the worst. That's in my mind. At least I do. I prepare for the worst. And I think when you have a dog that has a prey drive, likes to grab things, curious. Because sometimes they may not even because they're like trying to bite the snake. They may just want to stick their face near it to sniff it to see what it is. And then the snake may strike. In a lot of cases, though, the snake only bites if they feel threatened to do so. So if it's one of those things where they just look at each other and the snake, doesn't feel necessarily like it's going to be threatened, it may not result in any interaction. But it sounds like from your experience, you've never seen your Rottweiler's ever been bitten by a water moccasin, also known as a cottonmouth. But could it be the breed of dogs and or the type of snake that you're dealing with? Because I mean, do coral snakes behave the same way? Do rattlesnakes, do copperheads? I don't want to leave it a chance. You know, I'm very thankful that it's never happened to me either. And the two that I caught here, like I said, I didn't really relocate them because a lot of people prefer to relocate these venomous snakes. I think that's not a bad idea, but I chose a probably a less a lesser way of handling that, low vibrational way of handling those snakes, if you can believe that. The larger, and I've had many rat snakes here, and those things are massive, like 6 7 feet long. No, not 7 feet long. That's an exaggeration. Probably more like 4 to 5 feet long. They're big enough to stretch across my kind of my yard here. Those are very fairly gentle snakes, and I usually just pick those guys up and just throw them on the back fence back over there. Because in my mind, if you have a rat snake on your property, they're there for a reason, and whatever their reason is, I want you there for that reason. Okay, do you know what I mean? Because they're there to they're chasing after some field mice or whatever, and so I want you here. Uh, I want you, any kind of rat snake that I see, because I don't really have any chickens or anything like that or eggs that they can get into. So I'm totally comfortable with rat snakes, or garter snakes, or coach whips. We have coach whip snakes out here. I'm all for all those. Like, I love them. But when you're talking about venomous snakes, I tend to not take take a chance with my dogs because I just don't want to do it. All right, that was a long little thing. So Haas is asking about Storm. Is she doing better? So yeah, I don't know. Did you take a see her earlier? She was kind of running around. It's not completely healed, but I think she's living a okay quality of life. So Haas, the big thing with her is weight loss. I think we got about 18 more pounds to go. I mean, I guess you can kind of see it here. See how she's kind of like thick in there. They want her around about 100 pounds, and if we can get her around about 100 pounds, I think she could completely heal that because she tore her ACL. Right now she's getting around okay, and she's able to play a little bit if you kind of saw earlier, and that's fine. That's all good and dandy. But I want her to be back to her normal self, or at least for a 5-year-old Rottweiler, whatever that is for her. I want her to be at that level. So we've had to reduce the number of runs. So she can't go and do what Rain does, which is go run the streets with the golf cart, because he'll do a mile and a quarter easily, and she would love to do it, but it's just caused her more and more damage. So we're still kind of working through that. The other thing that we've had, Haas, is she's had 2 UTIs back to back. She's actively undergoing a UTI right now, and the treatment for her is either surgery to reduce some of the vulvar fat and or to lose weight. So all signs are pointing to one direction for my dog here. She may not look super obese, but and that that I'll take the blame for that, because I'll say this: a long time ago, people were like, "Oh, your dog is getting too fat," and I was like, and I was in denial, y'all. I was like, "Oh, she's fine," like that looks good, what do I need to do? But in all actuality, that's probably caused her more trouble than just than what it was worth to maintain it. So just be careful, guys. There are some consequences to having your dog be overweight. So Hadley was wondering what kind of dog. So yeah, it's a Rottweiler, Connie Corso, and a mixed little dog over there. If you can see that little one over there. Devin, feed them a deer. Devin wants to go straight to the kill. He's like, give him a big old deer. We're out in the country. Let me go. Let me get Rain back over. Rain. Oh, look at their dogs. I'm gonna go get my treats and see if I can get them. Come back. Come back. Back over here. That's a good dog. Good boy. Good boy. I think they're ready to play with some toys now. Oh. Oh, he fell. Yeah, they're ready to play now. Little Missy, she said, I'm getting out of the way. So Haas says, oh, Miss Evelyn, a bobcat got into my barn, and she welcomed it. Oh no! When she played a game with it, it's ass was grass and was the lawn. She was the lawnmower. Oh my gosh! Oh, Miss Evelyn, Miss Evelyn, she's doing her job though, right? Hadley, what type of dog? All right, I think we answered that question. Oh my God, who's the cute little puppy over there? So Julius, yeah, we did you not see little Missy? Yeah, little Missy. She's that little wayward dog just wandering around the yard. 14 years old, and she's hanging in there with us. She's the elderly one. Also, Hadley, hopefully you got your answer because I see you asked for it a couple times. What breed is that? Corsico? Yes, so Mathanet is definitely Cane Corso. Julie says rain and storm don't have the no, no, no. They've been docked. I think I have the same dog. Okay. So thanks, Haas, for jumping in there, for giving us the name there. I get lost on stories and I get behind. What do you see? Is that another frog over there? Do sometime wild animals break out in your yard? So Julius, we never really get too many wild animals here. I mean, the only thing that we will get is squirrels. The squirrels will come in, and they'll climb the tree and they'll go eat my figs over there, in my little garden over there. So they try to it's so funny how ineffective my dogs are with catching. I wish my dogs were more like Haas's dogs where they take care of business. My dogs don't take care of business. They are here to play, okay? If they see a anything that's not supposed to be here in terms of an animal. Now humans are different. If they catch a human walking around, they don't want them here. But in terms of like other animals and stuff, they really are like let's play. They're in it for the fun of it. Lizards, gophers, or whatever. Did I tell you that one story? Let me tell you this one story. It's always funny for me to tell you this story. So we out here, there's tons of gophers. Like, and I haven't been doing a great job, of getting rid of my gophers. But I think there's a couple piles over there. We have these pocket gophers, and they tear up your yard and everything. But one morning, I woke up, and we let little Missy. She didn't have a way to go in and out of the house like the big dogs do. So I let Missy out, and then I think I fell asleep or whatever, and we woke up, and I heard the scratching on that door right there, scratching, and I was like, oh my God, I think I left my dog outside, and it sounded very weak, like a weak scratch, and I was like, oh, maybe something happened to my dog. I was getting scared. I opened up that door. It wasn't Missy. Missy was in her bed. It was a doggone gopher, y'all, scratching on that back door, a gopher. And I'm like, what is this? They try to come in the house too? And so I had Storm, come out here. Come look at get this gopher, right? I thought she was gonna come out there and just grab it, right? Nah, you know what she did? First of all, she didn't even see it. She was paying more attention to me. And then second of all, when she finally saw the gopher, she just went up there and tried to like sniff it and whatever, and the gopher just kept running. And she was like, "All right," and didn't even try to grab it. Didn't even grab it. Just let it do its thing. I'm like, Storm. It wasn't even trying to. Yeah, she looking at me. She wasn't even trying to grab that critter. All right. Anyway, that's my little story for today. Hadley, I have the same dog breed, Cane Corso. Yeah, Haas. I own a few. Yeah, Haas is a couple Cane Corsos. Um, Nalash. Apologies. So Hadley has a Cane Corso named Luna. Awesome. Cash. I honestly think we are very lucky because I've seen many moccasins in the water, in the mountains. We have some large black snakes. Yeah, yeah. I just every day that we don't get bit by a snake is a good day. I'm gonna tell you, because those things can inflict a lot of damage on your pets, even on you too. So you gotta be careful, man. So Haas says Evie is nearly 3 years old and has unalived a lot of threats from raccoons, coyotes, especially and recently the bobcat. 8 months old and 137 pounds. It's just an amazing dog, man. Evie is the best. Evie's the best. She take care of business and she does her duties. Julius, I ate snakes because I'm Asian, but they are not venomous though. Yeah, a lot of people do eat snake. I don't. I mean, I don't. I never tried it myself. But people, yeah, definitely will eat. It's protein, right? Cassius, the dogs just don't play with him any. They don't pay him any mind. That's good news. That's good news. I wonder because of the way they move, it's not like a fast. Like how it is with lizards. They just kind of go zipping, and it catches their attention, and that prey drive kicks in, and maybe it's just the snake is like, whatever, it just kind of slithers away. Who knows? I don't know. Bryce says add drops of apple cider vinegar to her water dish. Um, Pat. Oh, hey Brian, what was the rationale for the apple cider vinegar? What was that for? Carl says throw it. Oh. Yeah, he's got tons of energy. Terry says Vox. Leon, check out the Temple of Zeus organization to find the truth. Oh, so Leon is talking about Zeus. Okay, all right, nothing wrong with that. You do your Zeus thing. Uh, got Hasa's got Evie hates gophers, and when we have a new hole with the inside, she will rip the ground apart and she gets it. Wow. So I will tell you, Haas, I stopped Storm because at the beginning she would try to dig for the gophers too. I think they would hear them on the ground, but my thing is she's so ineffective with getting them. Like she doesn't get them. So the end result is I have all these, and this is sandy soil, so they can dig 4 or 5 feet deep into this ground, and still no gopher. I'm like, no, I don't want manholes, in the ground. So I just, I kind of stopped her from doing it, and I don't know if it's 100% gone because every now and then they're still. I think he's starting to learn how to dig too. So, yeah. We've eaten all your food outside. We're here to raid your fridge. So Paul says, don't know if you ever spoke about this and how did you come up with their names and what was the name of the Rottweiler who passed away? Oh, that's a good question, Paul. So when we got, so first of all, Missy is short for Mississippi because we were living in Mississippi. I was stationed out there at Keesler. And so her name is short for Mississippi. Her Storm and Rain. I'm sorry, not Rain. I'm so used to saying Storm and Rain now, but Storm and her brother Creed. Creed is the one that died. Those were named by our kids. Storm being like the X-Men Storm. Creed like the movie The Boxer Creed with Michael B. Jordan. So my son and my daughter both kind of named the Roddies, and of course wifey approved. Mama Bear approved. Now Rain was kind of I think it was more like I think Tanil kind of came up with the Rain, so Storm and Rain kind of went together pretty well. So that's kind of the short end of the story. Norma says, hi, what's going on, Norma? Cute dogs. Haas, you want them to handle business? Get her a toy or a gopher hide. Use it as a toy to teach her to hunt them. Ooh. But it has to be made from the fur of the animal you want her to target. Like coyote, I'll use a coyote pelt for training as a toy. That's an interesting thought. And that makes sense too for them to actually use the scent that you want them to actually go after and get it. I think at this point though, Haas, I think I prefer them not digging for the gophers. Like I said, because it's just they're so ineffective. I mean, maybe after I train them, she'll get them, but I just don't want all those big holes, man. I'm telling you, here it is. It's rough when they dig these holes because I have to fill up the hole, and then I have to put topsoil and buy more because this is sod. This is not natural grass. This is all for me buying these pallets of sod, and it seems more trouble than it's worth for me. So I actually like having to be being able to walk around and them not falling into a manhole from especially at nighttime when you can't see out here. So, but I don't know. Different world, more land, bigger space, then yes. But in this little area, probably not. Yeah. Now the squirrels, that'd be good for them to grab the squirrels because they can stop eating my figs over there. I'd appreciate that. But the gophers, I think I'm gonna let that one go. I'll take care of the gophers. Craig Wolf, what's going on, Craig? Hostas, I live in the boonies. No SID required out here. No sod required. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So a lot of people don't put sod out here either. But to me, if you don't have sod in this area, because the sandy soil is just perfect for these sticker burrs, and they're so successful with proliferation and just like growing everywhere. And the stickers are just so terrible for the dogs, terrible for us. It is they're just ugh. So the sod actually helps take away a lot of the stickers, or they don't take them away. It just this doesn't make them flourish. Because if without the sod out here, this whole yard would just be stickers. All of it, just be, the whole thing would be stickers. They won't be able to come out and play. They won't be doing all this running without having all these stickers in their fur and their paws. So I don't know. Gotta have the sod because I gotta have the protection for the dog's feet and everything, like my horses. So I let my dogs do the work and I'll fill the holes back up. Hmm. Yeah, I think so. So Haas, I think the other thing too is that if I was retired, you know, I still got 7 more years so I can retire. But um, if I was retired and I had a little bit more time and energy to kind of go behind them to do stuff like that, I think I wouldn't mind it. But I don't know, man. There are so many days where I'm just trying to get them some love, get them some exercise, get them fed. Wifey's helpful. She does a lot of work too. But I'll be lucky if I can get this yard mowed down, and so the HOA won't get on me. And you know what I mean? There's like so many other things so I just try to minimize whatever my responsibilities on the daily, if that makes sense. That was one of the reasons why I was struggling with the whole food, the raw diet. It was just so much work for me to try to get done, and unfortunately, I'm just not good at making that a higher priority. I've got some other things that I have to do for work, and and I'm a total advocate for it. If you're able to get that done, and that's contrary to what my vet says. My vet is more like, no, we think that these dogs are evolved to not be whole, raw diet. They need to have something more safe, like the uh, the kibble that's been scientifically balanced for your dog. So so a lot of vets are against that. I'm not that way because I do personally think that if it's unprocessed, it's probably going to do better for even for humans. So I don't knock that type of diet, but it takes some work on the human part. And I just don't. And you can't be inconsistent. That's the other thing. You can't like mess it up just because you're busy. You can't. You know what? Tonight you're just gonna get a bunch of steak and no organ meats or no everything that you need to have them because they'll have a nutritional deficiency. So the safest thing is if you can't commit to that, then go ahead and get the scientifically proven kibble, whatever the veterinarian recommends. But like I said, I'd much rather do a raw diet for them, or even just non-processed. You know what I mean? So Haas says I am more worried about livestock breaking legs and gopher holes. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Wow, I actually didn't even think about that. I guess if you have horses or cattle, and they're just these big gopher holes. Here, let me show you my gopher hole. Come on, guys, let's go show them what our gopher holes look like. Come on. So I think I have a gopher over here that I have not captured because what I do here's like a gopher pile here, an old one. Let's see if I have one over here that's. Come on, guys, come show them where. Look at them, they're hanging out in the shade. They're like, no, we're not going anywhere. So this one right here is a fairly recent gopher hole. This guy here, and you can see where they just kind of trail around the yard. Usually I have this gopher trap that I use that captures them. But I haven't been. Like I said, I've been so busy lately. It's just, oh. Well, anyways, yeah, yeah. You've been busy too. So I met a good late. Oh, she is so short. Has a few chow chows. She loves dogs. So, okay, so Hoss, I didn't know you were, in the market trying to get your life together. I didn't know it was like that, but that's good news. I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm telling you, if you find the right one, that they just make life better. Okay, so I'm trying to observe her urine to make sure there's no blood in it, and it did not look like there was any blood. So that's good news. She's on day 2 of antibiotics, by the way. If you're wondering why I'm looking at my dog's urine, I'm trying to make sure that she doesn't have any signs of her UTI still around. So and also frequency of urination. So she's done it once, and it's been, I don't know, a good 20-30 minutes since she's been out here. That's a good sign. So antibiotics for the UTIs. You can't just give them cranberry juice only or cranberries. You got to give them the antibiotics. But no, that's good, man. I'm glad to hear that, Hoss. Man, it's nothing like having a complete home. I love my wife, and she just makes things so much more pleasant for me. I'm kind of a lucky guy that not everybody can say that about their spouse. When you have big dogs, it's nice to have a partner to kind of help you out because there's so much work. You know what I mean? I don't care if it's just making sure they got water and making sure their tanks are filled or remembering to give them their medication or taking them to the vet. It's really nice to have a partner to help you out with that kind of stuff. So good on you, man. I hope that works out for you. I hope you two guys, do well. You and your lady, and she said she's short. Also, Haas is 6'4", dude. You're tall. Whoa, and she's 5'2". That is awesome. Look, man. Look. It is what it is, man. Opposites attract. That's how it is. You 6'2", she 5'2". I'm not knocking it. My wife is, what is she, 5'1"? I'm not quite 6 foot. I'm more like I'm on the 5'10" spectrum, but we got a little bit of a height difference, and but that's kind of my style anyway. I go for the shorter. Well, I used to go. Look at that, Rain sticking his head out of the door. What are you doing, Rain? What you doing, buddy? Now he comes all the way out. You letting in the flies for everybody? We don't have enough flies inside the house. You want to make sure we got enough flies? Okay. Well, thank you, buddy. Missy's begging to go inside the house. But Haas, I think this is one of the toys that we bought from the super chat you gave us. We bought a bunch of toys, man. Thank you so much for that. He's doing better today about jumping on her back, putting a lot of tension on her knees and stuff. So I'm kind of happy with how they're playing today. Very different from what they used to play like when if you oh look, she got it. She stole it from him. Oh man. I do not mind this type of play at all, guys. At all. Very, very, it sounds aggressive. They always sound that way. It's that Rottweiler that's doing all that noise. Oh, she didn't give it back to you? Sorry, buddy. Just find another toy. You got a billion of them out here. You got a billion toys. Missy. Oh, she got somebody to come and pay attention to her. Sling that slobber everywhere, buddy. So Haas is saying, so I let my dogs do the work. Okay, I already read that. Hi, it's okay. I love it. She can be feral. Nice. Christmas is coming up, but yeah. Christmas is definitely coming up pretty soon, which I'm kind of glad. I mean, I'm more glad about the season where the sun is not so heavy for them. I mean, I think the dogs love it out here. It's a much more pleasant environment for them. For us here in Texas, I mean, even in December, it's beautiful, y'all. I'm telling you, we're not dealing with any freezing hardly. I don't think it gets below like 40 degrees, and that's like the low. It's usually around about 60 to 70 degrees. I'm pretty sure it's like that in Florida too during December. It doesn't really get cold until January or February. We'll get a cold snap, and it's usually maybe 3 or 4 days, and then we're kind of back to mild to okay. And that's kind of the best time to be here in Texas. The summer times is not great for Texas. It is just unbearably hot. It's just too much. But the winter time is kind of the best time. Fall, so basically fall, end of middle to late fall, like what we're coming up into in the next couple weeks, it starts to get better. Winter, it's not bad except for like I said those cold snaps that we get, and then spring, beautiful. It's just literally end of May all the way to probably the beginning of September where it gets kind of bad out here. Man, one day I'm gonna have need to send you pics and videos of my land. And yeah, I definitely want to see that, Haas, because I mean, you sound like you got a nice setup, man. You got the dogs, and now you got the missus with the chows. That you see in the footage of Evie taking her care of business. Yeah, do you have like maybe you can post some videos on your YouTube because it's easy for me to get to your YouTube page from here. So Bonnie is here. Like your dog, they are so beautiful. Thank you. Where's Clyde? Bonnie and Clyde. That's funny. Yeah, guys. So what we're gonna do for the rest of the day, we're gonna give her antibiotics this morning. She's due for hers hopefully sooner rather than later. So she's gonna get her antibiotics. We're probably gonna skip out on his exercise for now because it's gotten kind of warm. We may hit the treadmill. We did about a mile last night on the treadmill, so I'll probably do it again to keep him satisfied. And then so we'll probably feed them, wait a couple hours before I put him on the treadmill, probably about 3 hours. So he'll have an afternoon exercise, and then after that we should be good for the afternoon. That's the plan for today, guys. So if y'all have any last minute questions, I'm gonna go ahead and probably sign off, and get them some food, and start our plan for today. Oh, okay. So Haas is like, this is a little too graphic for YouTube. Oh, okay. Um, I'm trying to figure out what's the easiest way to get it. Huh. I think. Do you have any videos on your channel? I may just try to go to your channel and just send you my email, and I don't remember what the email on. I'll send you. I'll copy it and I'll put it in your one of your. If you have a video or something I can make a comment on, that may be the easiest way so I can communicate with you that way. Yeah, thanks, Haas, for hanging out with us. But yeah, if you do have a video or something on, I can post a comment. I'll give you my email so we can figure out how to connect that way. That sounds like that would be interesting. Money cannot buy happiness says, hey, what's going on? Okay, that sounds good. See, how does that work? Yeah, in the comments, you mean send an email to the comments? Yeah, so as soon as I go off live from here, I'll get your email from here. We'll connect that way. So thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we're gonna get to that breakfast, and then we'll have a wonderful, hopefully a wonderful Sunday. Y'all have a blessed day. Have fun. Work out your dogs. Exercise your dogs. Feed your dogs. Do the best that you can for them because they're doing the best they can for you. So y'all have a wonderful Sunday, and I'll catch up with you, Haas, I'm gonna try to, as soon as, give me about a few minutes so I can feed the dogs, and then I'm gonna jump back on and see if I can get your comment and send you an email. Okay, we'll do. All right, all right, all right, all right. Have a good day, y'all.